archaeology. Get out of there, Dan!
Ideally. And you introduced the show. Episode 27.
Oh, I knew it was 27.
Okay, Richie is figuring all this out, but I'm just talking for no reason whatsoever.
All right, welcome to the You Call This Archaeology. We're a little late. Oh my god, you know what's crazy before we even start? I was getting some coffee at Coffee Bar.
Yeah.
And I was talking, I'm going to record a podcast. She said, and the girl at the counter was like, oh, I ran the other person was doing the show.
Nice.
Yeah,
all
she
right.
remembered she remembered your hat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That wasn't today. I must be going there too much.
Oh.
Yeah. So we're sounding pretty good on the audio, so I'm
good.
gonna take my headphones off, I think, so we can pay attention to you guys.
Wait, should we ask Alexis? Say
That
hello?
sounds really good, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Neat.
So.
Oh my god.
Okay. Well, we are live, of course.
Yeah.
Hello to Richie's YouTube audience and anybody that found this on the APN page, as Richie gets these uploaded.
Yeah.
They'll be on an APN page where you can watch basically his YouTube stuff on our page, so we all get the stuff from it.
Ooh.
I will say thanks to the people who have joined so far, and send in your questions if you want to talk to us or interact with something. I want people to go over to our TeePublic store. Go over to TeePublic, T-E-E, public.com. Type in ArchPodNet or Archaeology and see what shows up. But type in ArchPodNet, you'll see our store, and go check that out while we're on here, because I want your feedback on some designs that we have up. So, and they're giving us a 30% off coupon that he did not give me an expiration date on, so it could end at any point in time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So I actually want to go buy a few things on that coupon.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Oh, wait. Is it good for like just the APN store? Or is it good for anything?
It's good for the TeePublic store, not the APN store.
Ooh.
We've got two different kind of store things going on. Stuff that I have to ship and sell, which I don't prefer, but I will do, and stuff that TeePublic will drop ship to you and make on demand. So,
yeah, but I meant, is this for like the APN branded stuff?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's only for APN branded stuff.
All right.
You can't go on TeePublic and buy other stuff with that coupon code. I don't think so. Hell, maybe you can. I don't know how they can differentiate that, but give it a shot. What the hell? I don't know. So, anyway.
Yeah.
So we've got that. I want to, before we forget, I do want to bring up the one serious topic that we have of this show. I think we should just get it out of the way right away. A good friend of mine, Richie, you knew him as well, kind of a little bit.
Sort of.
No?
Just through Facebook and through other people.
Right. Well, a friend of a lot of people in archaeology passed away on, I think it was Sunday. Maybe it was Monday. I think it was Sunday though.
Yeah.
And he's only 35, and apparently he was rock climbing, collapsed, and couldn't be revived. I'm not going to say any more than that because I don't know what happened, because I haven't seen anything. It clearly was some kind of heart failure. But we're not sure why. And I'm not going to speculate on anything, on his condition, his health, or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I did just want to point out, if you're an archaeologist and you're listening to this, a lot of times we don't get any sort of health care, we don't get any sort of benefits, we don't get anything. We treat our bodies pretty hard. I mean, I would say we feel like we're treating our hearts well because we're outside working out and doing all kinds of stuff, but it is still physically demanding. And if you have some sort of heart condition that you maybe don't know about, I'm not saying that's what Keith had, but if you have some heart condition that you might not know about, dude, save up some money. Maybe every other beer, don't drink, and then put that money aside, and then go to like an urgent care facility or something like that, and get yourself an annual checkup.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have insurance, you can get an annual checkup, and tell them you don't have insurance. You're paying for this out of pocket, so they don't do any unnecessary tests. But get yourself checked out. You know, we had another friend, Blake, that died from cancer a few years ago, and he actually worked here in town. I knew him at least, and I worked with him a lot. And he had a similar issue. Although he was salaried and had health insurance, he was just stubborn early on. Like, he was having some severe stomach pains and stuff. And I don't know if going in early enough would have helped him. He had a pretty aggressive form of cancer. I'm not sure if that would have helped him or not, but, you know, get checked out.
And one other additional source, I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it, but I know that at the bookstore, some people used a service called Nevada Hopes, which is here in town.
Yeah.
It's similar, but it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, you know, if you're from the Bay Area, it's kind of like the Haight-Ashbury free clinic sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Nice.
like community-based and whatnot.
Yeah, there's a number of ways you can go get yourself checked out.
Yeah.
And we just need to do that because, Keith, aside from, losing an awesome archaeologist and somebody who was really passionate about the field, we lost another human being to something that I don't know if it could have been prevented or not. Like I said, I'm not going to make a judgment on Keith's lifestyle or anything. But my guess is at that age, if I had to honestly guess, there was some sort of heart condition that went either unreported or maybe it was undetectable or something. I have no idea. All I'm going to say is get yourself checked out. So.
And, God, how many archaeologists, make it to, a natural death in bed? Because, in the past 2 or 3 years, every year there's something, it's someone else.
Yeah. Well, we're also coming up to the time frame where, a lot of people got into this when they were in their 20s in the late 70s, early 80s. Yeah. And that age group is starting to get pretty old, actually. So, it's going to start happening a lot more, I would imagine, just because of age, hopefully. Hopefully just because of age and not something horrific. But
but how many archaeologists do we know who have died of cancer?
Well, we know a few. Yeah. But as far as dying of old age, like I said, we don't know that many because it's a fairly young profession. As far as professional archaeology goes.
Yeah, but then a lot of people just go in the field like Mr. Yeti.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so. Hopefully a lot of people out there do too.
Yeah, so
maybe.
Anyway, that's what I wanted to open with, and didn't mean to bring the mood down. Hey, if you're listening to this and we're live, so we can talk about it, even if we're not live, bring in a comment. Let me know if you let us know if you do go to a clinic or a doctor or something like that. You pay for it out of pocket.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to your experiences on that, even for just a checkup. Let me know. Let us know if you're doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
So.
Oh my God.
All right, on to more hopefully pleasant things. Although we'll probably depress everyone with talk of jobs and stuff.
Alexa, play some memorial music. Is that even?
Richie is playing with Alexa now. We'll see how smart she is.
Ooh. Of course not.
Yeah, I went to the internet. Yep.
Shoot. Alright, never mind.
Alexa sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, man. Well.
I hope all your Alexas just got activated, if you have one, all your Amazon devices. So.
Well, God, I think it's because I obviously just got the new Kindle 8.
Yeah.
But, I downloaded the Google store, so pretty much all the apps are from Google, and I think when you use Alexa, it only uses Amazon, coded apps.
Right.
Approved apps. So I've got music players on here. They're just all from the Google store.
Nice. Actually, on the Archaeological podcast that we just recorded, so if you're listening to this live, it'll be out in a week and a half or something.
Yeah.
But on the Archaeological podcast that we just did, we talked about budget tech. Ooh. And one of the things Paul got, the co-host, is he picked up one of those Amazon Fire tablets that was on cheap sale.
Yeah.
He got it for $30.
Yeah, that's this one.
Yeah, he got that tablet. So, and he was saying, there are some things. Richie, you've got yours in a case, which is probably wise. But there are some things like the plastic case. You don't get a nice metal one if you're going to pay $30 for a tablet.
Yeah.
And he said it's possibly a little slower than your average higher end tablet for what he's looking at. But quite frankly, who cares?
Exactly.
If you can run apps on it, you can take pictures with it. I don't know how good the camera is, but if
Terrible.
you can, if you can do things on it, even if you're just using it as reference material for $30, my God.
Well, the thing I'm using this for, the reason why I got it is because I have a Chromecast, and I had been using my phone and my computer.
Yeah.
But the thing is that when they, because all devices will do this, they'll disconnect from Chromecast after a while.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was watching YouTube, there's such a thing. It's called a queue.
Mm-hmm.
A Chromecast queue. And you just put stuff in it. And whenever my phone would disconnect it from it, it would erase my queue.
Oh, man.
Yes, and so that was fine if I remembered what I was watching or what I wanted to watch.
Right.
But this thing, it never disconnects. And even if it does, it still remembers what's in the queue. I'm not sure if that's a difference between the apps or whatnot. But as a Chromecast controller, it is the greatest thing.
Nice.
I play music, everything through this. Just
nice.
And unlike my phone, I can actually read stuff. I can read YouTube comments and stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh.
how's your side hustle going?
Oh my God! Well, it picked up some new urgency this week. Well, I'm not joking. Man, they are really ratcheting down hard because they keep hiring people, and so they're looking for more excuses to fire people. So Sunday, there was a very nice lady who everyone was angry was fired because you're supposed to pick. For people who don't understand, I work in a warehouse, and I'm that person, who grabs the stuff off the shelf and puts it in a box and sends it to you. And you're supposed to grab a certain number per hour.
Right.
And normal, before, if you were like under by like 1 or 2, it's like there was some leeway. Because normally it was like an average of your week.
Right.
But now they're firing people if like you miss your average. If you miss, like, you're supposed to get 55 items per hour. But if you get like 54 items per hour, that day, they fired this lady because she was 2 picks under for that hour.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah, and she was really nice, and and like she really needed that job. And like literally, they're like left and right, they're like they're firing people and giving write-ups for little things that they didn't used to care about. Like they really, really, really want to like weed out people.
Is now you're not working for Amazon,
No.
But does this company have other distribution centers like Amazon does across the country?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're running a similar type service.
Yeah, and actually yesterday I left early because I was left because one of the first ways they were dealing with the over excess of people was they were just saying if you want to go home early, just sign up the sheet. They'll send you home early. Well, when I was leaving yesterday, there was some woman there. She had been there for a while, and she was leaving because her feet were bleeding because she was trying because they're ratcheting up the pressure so much that she was trying to keep up, and so she was working till her feet bled, and then she left.
Oh my God.
So it's just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyway, to get back to my side hustle, actually it also works with my new Amazon Kindle review. One of the things that Seth pointed out is that instead of in lieu of a resume, this one student he had turned in like a report on how he would improve the SEO of this website, his uncle's website. And so I was working on doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Except with the APN, it was more of like a summary of what we've been doing already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just interject real quick because I knew a guy when I did my Earthwatch field school in Olduvai Gorge in Africa.
Yeah.
This guy joined us in the field school, and he's just a guy who makes a ton of money and wants to do things like that, so he paid enough money to be able to go on this thing.
Yeah.
And we were talking, and he was essentially a workflow efficiency expert.
Ooh.
And he would take a look at companies as much as he could from the outside, and he'd put together a report on how he could improve this company, because he had some proven strategies that he could just look at a company and know that he wasn't doing these things. and so he would say, he would approach a company and say, here's my report on what you guys are doing wrong. He wouldn't tell them how to fix it, but he would say, I can fix it and save you $2 million a year. Yes. And then they would be like, yes, please. Where do we sign?
Oh my God, I was listening to a podcast about this, the brutal truth about sales. And like there was this dude who called himself the salespreneur. And that was essentially his model. Yeah.
Yeah, you can, like with website design, with digital marketing, it's pretty easy to tell when you're somebody who can improve the public face of a company.
Yeah.
All you got to do is look at that public face.
Yeah.
And you know what's going wrong.
Yeah.
And you know how you can improve.
Ooh.
So, yeah, you could do that with almost any company. Just look at their operations and say, "Listen, I can't find anything about you guys on the internet. Here's how I can help."
It's almost like that show. I forget the exact name of the show, but you remember that show where that dude went around to various bars and like helped them out?
What, Roadhouse? No.
No, but it was like Gordon Ramsay's show except with bars.
Oh, right. I don't think I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you spend enough time in, motels, like it's one of those reality shows.
Yeah, I hear you.
But
I usually watch House Hunters.
Ooh, that was not bad either. But anyway, so I was writing that report, and I was writing it on my PC, and then I wanted to sleep on it, to like make sure it was all right, because that's obviously the first draft. And I should point out, I was writing this on Sunday, and was working on it until like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I had to get up at 4. So I wasn't gonna like review it right then.
Yeah.
And so the next night, as I'm going to bed, I whip this out and I fire up Office 365, and it's on here.
Nice.
And it's like it's the actual thing, because people might not realize the significance of that, because it's like that's an everyday thing now. But when I first got my iPad 1, what I do is I'd start up my MacBook, and then if I was in the field and wanted to add something to it, by that time I was just bringing my iPad. I would just like upload the Dropbox, open the file from Dropbox, and then work on it on my iPad. But then you'd have 2 files.
Yeah.
But now it's so seamless that that each device just draws and edits the same file, which I thought was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's just like insane.
Well, I've been doing that a little while on some apps, but not all apps do that. But it's nice to have an updated tablet that you can actually do that in. I do that actually quite a bit on some of my stuff, like when I'm working in the app Graphic.
Yeah.
I've got that on all my devices plus my desktop.
Yeah.
So I'll just save it. It saves in iCloud.
Yeah.
And then I can just pull it up and keep working when I go home. You know.
The thing is, I didn't want iCloud because I use PC and Mac at the same time.
Right. So you need something that crosses between the two of them. Yeah, for sure.
Crossing the streams.
Exactly. So that's nice. Well, as soon as so we got that report on Richie's digital marketing side hustle, and as soon as I get a report on the APN's digital marketing efforts, I'll give you a report on the next phase of Richie's digital marketing side hustle.
Ooh. Well, I was actually going to start revising it today because I was sitting there and making notes and stuff.
Nice.
Because the template that I was provided with, the person showed a lot of enthusiasm, but they weren't necessarily. They didn't necessarily display a lot of competence. Whereas I wanted this to show off my actual skills. Right. Like real things.
Well, and speaking of skills, what we're doing after this show actually is something that I got to tell you. When you're looking at a side hustle and you're looking to improve yourself, you're looking to do different things. Sometimes you just need to bite the bullet and do it. Well, I've had a long day today, and I did a presentation that ended up lasting like 30-40 minutes with questions this morning. It was only a 6-minute presentation with a good 30+ minutes of questions. And I did that. That was exhausting just mentally. And then getting here, and I've done a lot of stuff this afternoon, and it's just been, I'm already tired. However, yesterday I saw a friend of mine posted, he owns a social media company teaching people and doing social media for people.
Neat.
And he's doing a workshop here at the Reno Collective, and normally it's just for basically their clients to learn about social media from their team. But they had some spots left open, so they opened it up, and then I asked if people could go. I think Richie's going to go probably. But this is a social media workshop. I may or may not learn anything from it, but having this stuff into my head, I mean, I'm running like 4 different things that have social media concerns, and the more information I can get, the better. And this is free. We're not paying for it. So it's like, if something like this pops up near you, maybe turn off Netflix for the night and go to it. And just see what you can learn.
Well, I mean, oh my God, was an expert, because at the bookstore I used to work at, the owner insisted on she would quote unquote delegate the thing, and then she would look at it and undo everything you did and then put up her own ideas. But the thing is, their social media presence was terrible. Yeah. And so I was there last week, and apparently they now have like an expert. Maybe it might even be the same expert. I don't know. But anyway, so that's that. Nice.
Well, I would just say, as with everything, learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can never learn too much. And I got to really point out real fast.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on with this stream today? We're like dropping no frames.
Oh.
The lag is not as long as it usually is. The audio sounds great. I wish it could happen like this all the time. Sometimes there's just factors beyond our control.
Well, there's only one person in that room behind us.
Well, that's a little misleading, because the team that was building back here, they moved them to another room because we're taking up too much space here. So I think they're still in the building, but...
Oh, are they up in that conference room?
They're downstairs beyond the kitchen. Yeah, there's another room down there.
Wait, there's a downstairs?
Well, yeah, behind the kitchen, it goes down a ramp, and this is a big building, folks. There's probably like 5 floors if you were really counting them all out.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, I think technically, if you look at elevations, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 6 maybe if you include the attic, but you don't really do that, so.
Oh my God, let's make a terrible segue back to my day job.
Yes.
But this week, they instituted some new security procedures, and employees have now started comparing it to a minimum security jail. And the ironic thing is that there are a few people there who have been in jail, and they're like, this is actually worse.
I'm sure of it.
And so the thing is that a lot of people are complaining, and I meet a lot of them, and yet none of them seem to be looking for a new job besides me. And I'm like, dude, every day I go on Glassdoor, except for Sunday. This is true every day except Sunday. There are, within a 15-mile radius of Reno, there are roughly 300 to 500 new jobs listed every day, and yet no one seems to want to look for a new job. I'm like, why?
Well, some people, I think, really just want to work for a living. They don't care what it is, and they'll work till they get fired, and they'll get something else. You know?
But don't they want to prepare for that day? Because they are looking to fire people there.
No, I don't think they do want to prepare. I think a lot of people just work themselves. We're in a different industry. We're in a different class. I won't say class, but we're in a different group of people that just think differently about their careers and their employment. I was just having this conversation with my wife the other day. You know, we were talking about, you know, we've got some minor investments and stuff, you know, little things, and I mean, nothing much, not like anything I could retire on right now. But we were talking about, you know, the future and what that looks like, because I can't remember what even prompted the discussion, but I was like, you know what, I don't really, while I would sure love to have some sort of fund that allows me to do whatever I want at some point later in my life, I don't really ever see myself stopping working, you know? Maybe stopping working in such a field-heavy environment, that might be the thing, because I'll be 70, but I don't really see myself stopping doing things, producing things, putting things out there, you know, whatever that may be.
The thing is, you know, everyone in CRM archaeology is or should be proactive.
Yeah.
Like, we're always looking for a new job. I mean, obviously, every once in a while you meet a field tech who's like, gets on a job and like, that's it. And then and then after it ends in 2 months, they're suddenly flat on their feet.
Yeah, totally.
But, you know, for the most part, everyone's always looking for a new job.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the sort of industry where you have to be defensive because you're not part of a company. Even if you are part of a company, you're not necessarily part of a company.
Yeah.
I mean, how much job security did you have when we were out in Elko?
I mean, I wouldn't say I've ever had job security to enter any job I've ever been on.
Yeah.
So many factors could make you lose that job.
Yeah.
You know, from simple, realistic things like attitude and how you work with others, because you're easily replaceable.
Yeah.
That could make you lose your job. But then factors beyond your control, there's plenty of them. There's the client loses funding. There's weather, something like that. You know, maybe there's 5 days worth of rain and the client goes bankrupt because they can't pay rain days. I mean, who knows? I mean, all kinds of things could happen to make you lose your job. And if you're not constantly prepared for that eventuality, then you're not doing yourself any favors.
See? Oh my God. It always makes me think of the field techs who, like, at the end of this field season, they have, like, what, $10,000 in, like, savings. And then by the end of it, you know, by the time the field season starts again, they're, like, out of money. And I'm like, dude, didn't you sign up for unemployment?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, totally.
Why would I do that?
I know.
You know, or why don't you get, like, do something like Uber? I don't want to lower myself to do that.
Yeah, the pride factor in a lot of what we do is a little bit ridiculous sometimes.
Oh, that didn't open up with your face. Did it?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, it did?
I didn't put in a passcode. It's so seamless you don't even know it.
Oh, well, I thought maybe you used your thumb. You know.
There's no fingerprint sensor.
Oh,
It's only face.
Interesting.
Yeah, the next version they're talking about having a in-screen fingerprint sensor.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But for now, I'm going to take a live stream selfie and post this on the ArcPodNet Instagram page.
Yeah.
There we go.
Ha.
There we go. So that's like breaking the sixth or seventh wall. I'm not really sure what wall that is.
True.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Speaking of improving yourself, I was talking to one of my ex-neighbors last night because he just moved out, and he was talking about, man, I really miss customer service, and he's talking about customer service and how he kind of likes it, but then at the end of the night he has to be like by himself for an hour or two. But the thing is, it made me realize, networking and talking to people is a skill, and so many archaeologists think, especially at the conferences, they're like sitting there like against the wall, not talking to anyone. They just go to they just go to these panels and whatnot, and they think that there's gonna be some magic point where they suddenly they just know people,
right,
or they network with people. That's not the way it works. You have to practice it.
You have to practice it. You have to go to different events if you want to do things, especially even if you just take like archaeology conferences as an example. There's always, I'm this person sometimes when I'm just like have shut down for the day. But there's always the people that are just kind of like standing off to the side, swirling their drink, and not really talking to anybody. Yeah. Sometimes you've got to put yourself in those situations. I actually heard a TED Talk at the TEDx UNR conference last Saturday. And what this guy was talking about, networking events. And he's like, that's the biggest thing is, people worry about their social network, LinkedIn, and making these new connections and doing all that stuff. But he said, more often than not, the whole 6 degrees of separation thing, he's like, which basically says you're six contacts away from just about anybody on the planet. Yeah. And that's the theory behind that. So he said because of that, people don't utilize their own networks enough. They don't utilize their own people that they actually know, not just like your Facebook feed with 2,000 people in it. You don't know all those people, So talk to your own people and say, hey, And what I'm saying that for is your own people are sometimes at these archaeology conferences,
Yeah.
you know, and you talk to them and say, oh, I'm looking for a job in this area. So, well, I don't have anything, but this dude does. Here, Richie, meet this guy.
Yeah.
You know, something
And I
like
do
that.
that all the time with people. I'm like, dude, meet this person.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
exactly. Making connections.
But more importantly than that, I was talking about something more basic, like buy a book. Like, you know, Dale Carnegie's book. You know, I forget the name of it.
How to win friends and influence people.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, like that book or anything. Like,
Yeah.
just teach yourself how to network. Like, how to, you know, how to be nice to people, how to
Right.
talk to people.
Right.
Because, you know, a lot of the people, especially the shy ones at the conference, they come out a little strong.
Yeah. Yeah. They do.
Give me a job.
Yeah.
Like, at the last GBACs, I was talking to some super drunk dude, and he was, like, pretty much reciting his resume. I can write this, I can do that, I've got this thing. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, network, but don't be a dick. Yeah, nobody likes somebody who brags a lot. You know, I mean, just I'm more likely to hire somebody even if they don't even have the skill set. I'm more likely to hire somebody that I like.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to hire somebody that I get along with, that I'm going to want to camp with, that I'm going to want to spend a lot of time with. You know, that 3 hours of driving in the field truck every day.
Ugh.
I'm going to hire somebody that's not going to be a total douchebag while we're doing that. You can be the best archaeologist on the planet.
Yeah.
But if you're tough to be around, my God, I don't want to be around you.
And yet, we all know people like that who are tough to cycle out of the industry.
I know. Why do you think Richie and I only do this show once a week? He's intolerable, I swear
See?
to God.
Always.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that's a huge thing. And I'm sure I've gone through periods where I know for a fact there's people that don't like me out there.
Yeah.
But that's okay because personalities clash.
Yeah.
You've got to find the personalities that you enjoy being around and that obviously on the flip side of things, they enjoy being around you.
Yeah.
You know, the common thing is if you're constantly finding out that, what is it? You're constantly finding out there's some douchebag in the room that nobody's talking about. And if you don't know who that is, then you're probably the douchebag, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you
Yeah.
know, you end up with the archaeology group that has, like, 3 o'clock eyes. And sometimes, you know, you don't.
Well, you know, yeah, sometimes that person has 3 o'clock itis and 3 o'clock eyes. Yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then I'm not going to tell you. So buy me a glass of wine at the next conference. Then we'll
Ooh.
talk. Yeah.
Oh my God, conference season is about to start, isn't it?
Jesus, yeah. I'm working on a deal that I can't announce just yet, but I'm going to flood the internet with it the minute the ink is, before the ink is even dry on the contract. So
Ooh.
as soon as I find that out, it's a done deal from the standpoint that we're going to do it. We just
Yeah.
haven't finalized the particulars yet.
Yeah.
But what it's going to mean once this is live is I'm already going to the Society for California Archaeology meeting.
Yeah.
I'm already going to the Nevada Archaeological Association, and then the Society for American Archaeology, the SAAs.
Ooh.
I'm already going to all 3 of those. But then I'll probably be going to the Northwest Anthropological Conference in Boise at the
Yeah.
end of March.
That's not really Northwest.
Well, Idaho's considered part of the Pacific Northwest. I don't know about the Boise part of Idaho, but at least the upper part is. So, anyway, they're stretching it a little bit. Well, think about this. I was looking at the long-term schedule of the SHAs, the Society
Yeah.
for Historical Archaeology. In 2020, it's in Lisbon, Portugal. Yeah. So, it's been there before, too. I've never gone to it before there. But anyway, other conferences on the possible slate are, well, on the definite one is the GBAC, the Great Basin
Yeah.
Anthropological Conference in Salt Lake City, the Midwest Archaeological Conference in, I think, New Jersey or something like that. I can't remember where it's at.
How is New
no,
Jersey
not
the
Midwest.
Midwest?
No, I mean Notre Dame, Indiana. That's where it is.
Oh, I was about to say.
It's the Northeast Conference is the one I was thinking of that I think is in New Jersey, but it's at the same time as NWAC, so I can't go to that. And then SEAC, the Southeastern Archaeological Conference, is the week after the MAC in November.
See, that's the one I'd worry about, like, you know, ticks just crawling all over me.
Oh my God, not at the conference. Yeah.
You say that, and
I
a bunch
know.
of field techs show up.
I know, bring all the ticks with them. It's like lice. Anyway, and then there's the ACRA conference, which I've never been to. That's in Cincinnati at the beginning of September. But overlapping ACRA is the European Association of Archaeologists meeting in Barcelona, Spain.
Ooh.
And I'm not sure, since somebody else is paying for these conferences, and that
Yeah.
one's going to cost probably about $3,000 with a 1,000 euro booth.
Ooh.
We'll see. We got the social media guys on the live stream right now, so that's who we're taking the classroom, the one that just waved into the screen there.
Neat.
But anyway, so tons of conferences coming up this year, and
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be at almost all of them.
Ooh.
So, and I'm hoping They want to send somebody from their company to go with me.
Yeah.
But from an archaeological standpoint, they don't really know archaeology. They can demo the app, but they don't really know archaeology. So I might try to work out later on, depending on how we're doing on sales and stuff, to get someone else to go along with me.
Oh man.
So who knows?
You know what just popped in my mind today? I was reading New York Times. Apparently, this is going to like kind of meander a little bit, but apparently Xerox just got bought out by Fujifilm.
Oh really?
Yeah, and they were pointing out in the article how Xerox had a whole bunch of accomplishments behind them, including the mouse and the graphical user interface that Steve Jobs stole for Apple.
I mean, I wouldn't say he stole it. I mean, is it stealing when other people just use the technology? I mean,
well, the thing is, it made me think of it because it's like the reason why Xerox didn't make use of those inventions because they thought of themselves as a copier company, when in reality they were in the business of selling stuff, anything. Which is why when Steve Jobs came back to Apple, the first thing he did was jettison, like pretty much ignore the computer division and come up with the iPod. And then suddenly they were in the music business,
right?
And then they were in the phone business. It just makes me think, man, so when you're a field tech, you're not necessarily, I don't want to say you're not in the archaeology business because you are, but the thing is, you're in the business of working.
Yeah.
So you gotta pick up whatever skills you need.
That's a good way to look at it. You got to broaden out the scope of what you are in the business of. Because if I would have really pinned down Apple, I wouldn't say they're in the hardware business. I wouldn't say they're in the software business. I would say they're in the personal entertainment business.
Yeah.
And in some cases, some people might disagree that they're moving away from this because only their super high-end devices are really used like this anymore. But they're also in the productivity business from that standpoint.
Yeah.
But more people see Microsoft, quite frankly, as in the productivity business, right?
Yeah.
But Apple is in the personal entertainment business from the standpoint of creation and consumption, and they create devices that can do both of those things. And when you have that as your mission statement, then everything you do is in service of that statement. So when you come out with an Apple Watch and a phone and different size of tablets, you're trying to hit all those sections of the market that fit your mission statement.
See?
And as an archaeologist, if you're doing anything that fits your mission of being an archaeologist, if it means you have to be an Uber driver from November to January or February, well, that's in service of your mission of being an archaeologist the rest of the year.
Yeah,
so I mean, it's a really good way of looking at it, Richie.
See?
Yeah.
It just frustrates me, some of the people you meet who just don't want to do anything with the winter because they are an archaeologist.
I mean, you might have to get your do some detailing on your car and on your cabriolet. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And because that would be one of those like special Uber vehicles you could probably charge more for.
Maybe.
But I don't think it quite hits the requirements right now.
It doesn't.
You might need some new carpets and seats.
Well, no, I mean, God, was it? I think it's 10 years. It has to have 4 doors.
Oh, it has to have 4 doors.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise, I would have used my truck. But my truck is an access cab.
Well, I know the year requirement is different based on the quality of the vehicle. Like you could drive a classic vehicle around and be an Uber driver, but it has to be like new quality.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Which is funny because and I'm glad Uber did that because taxi cabs certainly don't do that.
No.
My God, you know how many old taxis have been in? Jesus.
Well, the last time I ever rode in a taxi, it just reeked, and so I asked, God, it smells kind of weird in here. He says, yeah, someone just threw up in here, and I just cleaned it up.
Nice.
And then, it ended up costing more. The taxi ended up costing more because I actually took Uber back from the airport. And Uber ended up being cheaper. It was a nicer vehicle and more pleasant.
Well, there you go.
Plus, Uber Eats. You can do that too.
Uber Eats is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was looking at the app. I didn't believe you when you said you could order McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
You could order McDonald's and Uber Eats 24 hours a day.
Isn't that ridiculous? Yeah. It's totally ridiculous.
I love that.
Here's 2,000 calorie dinner for you without even leaving your couch.
Oh my God. And of course, weed has been legalized in the state for recreational use.
I'm sure Uber Weeds will be out soon. So your drug dealer can show up right at your door.
Oh my
legally.
God.
With McDonald's. With your munchies.
Someone's stealing that idea right now.
I know. I hope they are. I hope your side hustle is Uber Weeds, and you bring a bag of marijuana and a bunch of cheeseburgers to somebody's front door.
Ooh.
Dude, we need to Uber Eats McDonald's cheeseburgers to Dave Makar. like right now. Like wherever he is. If you know Dave Makar and you know where his address is, send it to me. I will totally Uber Eats him some freaking McDonald's hamburgers.
Oh my god, and don't forget to join his Facebook fan page.
Dave Makar will inherit the earth. I haven't seen anything on there in a long time.
I know.
I don't know.
It's like you don't know, you haven't made it as a field tech unless you have your own Facebook fan page.
I know, right? That's a little ridiculous. So, anyway, yeah, I'm gonna tell the Uber Eats guy who's delivering Dave his McDonald's plain hamburgers, to like put them in the car for like 3 or 4 days before he delivers them, and then bring them to Dave, because that's kind of how he likes them.
But you know, he actually did have one really good idea, which is that he just transports his clothes clean or dirty in garbage bags. Because think about it. I mean, most of your stuff just ends up getting gross anyway.
Yes, and if you don't know who Dave is, I'm hoping he's at the SCAs in San Diego. He's usually at all the conferences, all the California ones.
Yeah.
And we'll try to get him on a quick Facebook Live.
Man, that's going to be a crazy conference. I know you've never been to the venue, but it is a giant hotel complex.
Yeah.
It's like the sort of thing you'd see in Hawaii.
Kind of odd for the recent SCAs I've been to. They've been in smaller places.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think that's the only sort of venue that is available in San Diego.
Yeah, I'm just surprised they have it in San Diego, quite frankly.
Ooh.
You know, I'm surprised it's not in some smaller town somewhere else. But,
Yeah.
you know, smaller town, if they had to have it in Southern California, that you're in danger of having it in like El Centro or something.
Oh, God. Ew.
Could you imagine?
That's actually, I mean, they have it in Central Valley every once in a while, so they have it in those, you know, I'm not going to, like, slam
Yeah,
it
what
up.
was that one that was a few years ago?
Oh.
Central somewhere. I can't remember what the name of that town was. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Beyond the topic.
Bah.
What else do you have on your checklist? And while you're looking that up...
I only had one more thing, but go on.
Oh, well, I just mentioned, because I'm pretty excited about it, if you're interested in learning about podcasting and something outside of archaeology, because if you're interested in podcasting about archaeology, I can also help you there too, but we want to get your show on the Archaeology Podcast Network, so we'll do a lot of the work for you, you know, for nothing. But if you're interested in doing a show about archaeology, and I might just wait here. I know that I saw the live stream get interrupted, but we're dropping frames like that now. Who knows what happened? Anyway, I'll start over. If you're interested in doing an archaeology podcast, then I'll just assume that the audio is still going here. Then check out propodcastnow.com, and that's where I've moved all of my archaeology training and workshop and everything. And eventually, I'm going to have the workshop I do here behind me in this room.
Yeah.
I'm going to have that workshop up online as a course that you can take just at your own pace.
Yeah.
And then I would like to start, once that sort of gains traction and I get enough interest in it.
Yeah.
When I took the podcast engineering school course, that was basically 7 weeks, actually 8 weeks, because we took a week off for Thanksgiving, I think.
Oh.
But it was on Tuesday nights, once a week at 5 p.m. for 2 hours, and it usually went about 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And it was interactive. There was about 12 of us in the class.
Neat.
Excuse me. The presentations were recorded.
Yeah.
They were available for students to look at later if they wanted to.
Yeah.
We had homework assignments that were assigned via Google Drive, and Dropbox, and we had different things we had to do. He'd give us audio clips and say, do this to him, do that stuff. We were putting something together for our class project for the whole semester. And it was pretty cool. And, that was a pretty neat way to do it. And I'm thinking about doing 2 things. One, doing my podcast workshop that way, although I don't really want to do it over a bunch of weeks. I'd rather have a few longer classes and do it in like 3 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
But I got to figure that out. So I want to do that. But also, I'm considering, and if you're listening to this, send me an email, chris@archaeologypodcastnetwork.com, or comment here. But I'm considering doing a very similar workshop that's for CRM archaeologists.
Ooh.
And have it be...
that's what I was going to say. Jump in.
Yeah, have it be like a networking / jobs workshop, and then have other ones that are like, hey, we're going to do a historic artifacts workshop, and it's going to be the next 5 weeks over in the evenings. You know, it's going to cost you, I don't know, $100 or something like that. You got to make some kind of money off of it.
Yeah.
Which is still cheaper than a 1-hour SAA workshop, which is like $99 for members, by the way.
Really?
Totally ridiculous. Anyway, so I'm thinking about doing something like that, and I'm just not sure if people would have the money for it, if they want to pay for it, or anything like that. But I want to give people as many chances as possible to keep themselves educated, Not like I know everything. I teach the things I know, And the things I don't know that people want to learn, I'll find somebody to do it. You know, so.
Oh, that makes me think. What were some of the questions you got at 1 Million Cups this morning?
So yeah, check out 1MC Reno. If you look at 1MC Reno on Twitter or whatever, you'll see the live stream link and on YouTube as well. But I presented on the the podcast production side of the business that I'm trying to work on here.
Yeah.
And some of the questions were pretty. They were interesting questions because like one guy asked, well, I have a boring business with boring things, and how do I create something that engages my listeners and things, regarding this boring topic? And I was like, well, first off, if you have customers, then at least some people don't think it's boring.
See?
And while you might think, selling this this widget right here is a boring thing, there are people that need to know about it. And if it's not a very exciting topic, we'll just make shorter episodes and say, 5 to 6 minutes. Hey, this is this, and this is how some of our clients use it, and this is how you could use it. Done. Episode over.
Yeah.
Just do really short ones so people aren't inundated. And then when somebody gives you a bunch of questions, hey, what do you do and what do you sell? You can send them to your website or to your podcast and say, listen to these audio files. It doesn't have to be a podcast in the sense that people subscribe to it. It can just be podcast-style audio files on your website, that people can listen to. So,
well, I mean, think about it. How many people used to, 10 years ago, if you had told someone that someone's going to watch a person take an iPhone out of a box and there's going to get millions of views.
Unboxing videos blow me away.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just blow me away. That's even a thing.
What? You're telling me you wouldn't be interested on like the iPhone X or the iPhone XI?
I watch unboxing videos all the time. I'm not saying I don't watch them. I'm saying it blows me away that it's a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm part of the problem. So.
Yeah.
And I want desperately to do unboxing videos. We just don't have a setup for it yet.
Yeah.
I know. I'm waiting until we can do it right. So.
but I mean, it could be just about anything as long as you're enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
I mean, someone was pointing out the other day, you just have to watch like Marquise Brownlee. When he was a kid, he would just do a review on whatever was laying around the house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he's famous.
Yeah.
Now Apple sends him things.
And now Tesla. Did you see the newest video? Tesla flew him out to L.A. to Southern California so he could test the Model 3.
Oh my God. Nice.
And he was like, "Here's me in L.A. traffic. Click." And then, here's the autopilot going through traffic. Nice.
Well, I'd like to see some unboxing of some non-standard items. Like Dan Bigman just joined the live stream. Hopefully he's still here. And he runs Bigman Geophysical, teaches people how to do GPR and other geophysical techniques.
Ooh. And
also does that for people if you want him to do that. He'll bring stuff out and do a project for you. But I want to see a GPR unboxing. My God, that would take hours.
Well, the thing is, it's more than that. Like, he could talk about, like, the newest whatever that just came out.
He does stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he has going on right now. I've been over to his site a little while, but he does do video trainings and things like that. I'm not sure if he does really unboxings or like This Week in Tech kind of thing for geophysics.
Yeah.
But that would be a pretty cool show, Dan. I'd probably watch that. I'd probably listen to it if it were a YouTube channel. I'm just saying.
Oh, or a Twitch channel. Because who has a Twitch channel now? Is Twit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're on everything now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy now that you can just like I forget the name of it, the name of the program, but now there's a program that essentially allows you to stream to unlimited services.
Yeah,
like I think there
there's a handful of them out there.
Yeah, but it's like Zencaster in reverse, where it's they've got like a list of 30 sites you can stream to at the same time.
Yeah,
which is so cool.
It is pretty cool. So,
and hopefully one day I'll be able to afford to do that as soon as I am done with all the computer stuff.
That's right.
Because I haven't had time to my new editing hard drive is just sitting there still in the box. I haven't had time to take it out.
You need to do an unboxing.
Yeah, well, it's already out of the box. I mean, just to put things in perspective. Sunday night, 3 hours of sleep. Monday night, 2 hours of sleep because I'm just so busy doing stuff.
Yeah. Stay busy.
Yeah.
Sleep when you're dead.
See? Especially if you're like me and you're racing to get a new job before you're fired.
That is a stressful thing that all field techs know about. Yeah. I mean, you do that at the end of every single archaeology job. When you know the end is coming near, you know as you're penciling in that map and you see the empty space getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
See?
You know you have to be looking for a job. So.
Well, I mean, I'm always looking for a job.
Carl Fegans, he's awesome. We talked to him at SEAC last year.
Yeah.
Don't expect unboxing video of the GPR software. The last one I bought for $2,500 was a digital download. He said I expected at least a printed manual.
Oh my God.
Maybe you can have and installing video. That's software unboxing. So you just have a screenshot of you installing the software and going through the process. I'm going to say that would be incredibly boring, but that also in our current world, that would have massive amounts of viewers.
Yeah.
They just want to see how software is installed.
Oh my God! Like,
please speed up the portion where it's actually installing.
Well, some of the Twitch streams I follow, like they also do YouTube.
Yeah.
And so now they just stream themselves doing the editing of their YouTube videos.
Nice. That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
But I mean, for someone who doesn't know anything about video editing, that can be very instructive.
Yeah, and it could be instructive. And as far as installing videos go, I imagine you could almost forget that you're even streaming it because you just kind of like walk away until it's done. It's not like the old days. One of the things that really sticks in my head for some reason is King's Quest. If you remember that game, King's Quest 5 or whatever the hell it was I had for my computer.
Yeah.
That thing had like 20 plus 3.25, is it 3.5 inch? 3.5 inch floppy drives, and or discs, and you had to be on it because if you waited too long, your computer would like go to sleep or something. But when it said, okay, now insert disc 5 of 25, and you had to pull it out, stick in the next one, hit enter, and then wait like 15 minutes, and then it took all day to install the damn software. Yeah.
Oh my God! So, not to take it slightly off topic, but on topic, I actually watched a video last night where someone was using a Boss it's almost like a Zoom recorder, but from the olden days, and it recorded on zip disk.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Recorded onto zip disk?
Yeah, but the thing is, it recorded uncompressed waves.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and this was 1999, so this was 20 years ago.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a 4-track recorder, so, meant for like bands and stuff.
That's pretty cool. I mean, they had some stuff. That thing was probably $5,000 when it was
Yeah, and now you can probably get it off eBay for like $20.
If that. Yeah. Don't forget to ask for the power cord.
And the crazy part is that was during the days when Tascam was selling their 4-track Porta Studio, and it recorded on cassette tapes.
Oh my God. Nice.
I mean, can you imagine trying to record and edit a podcast on tape?
It would be hard. It would be really hard. That's why they had all those massive devices back in the day when everything is done on tape, like film.
Yeah.
Like you're running the film over here, but what you're editing is you're either physically clipping it or you're recording it onto another tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I've actually seen those on eBay, and then you had to physically tape it together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And not to get off track again, but oh my God, I actually screenshotted a studio photo. I thought, man, it'd be perfect for here. They have a circular table, and then they have like it's much bigger than this, but they've got their mixer here, and then they got the 2 podcast host here, and then over there is where the computers are set up for the producer.
Nice.
That way they can run the broadcast. I was thinking, man, if this room were slightly bigger.
I keep saying it's going to happen, but we are getting a new table in here. However, the table's been cut.
Lies.
The table's done.
Lies.
It's done. I saw it. The table for in here is finished. Colin, if you're watching, thanks for doing the table. The table's finished, and he's doing the legs this weekend, is what he said. Now, he said he was doing the table like 4 months ago, so I don't know how long the legs are going to take, but we'll see.
Yeah, and then, oh my God, so next is just an iMac. An iMac might be a little big, but, just like the computer station like here.
Yeah. Well, you think this room is actually a lot bigger than it seems, because when we put the other table in here, it's actually probably going to come out to about here, but that table will be gone.
Ooh.
So that whole space will be empty.
Yeah.
So we'll actually, I'm thinking, I'm not sure how he's going to want to set it up. My thinking is, though, the point of the triangle is actually like right here.
Yeah.
We have it out from the wall a little bit, and then we're sitting like this.
Yeah.
With our equipment up there in front of us. So,
ooh. Well, the thing is, the photo I had also, like, the 2 people had the their computers for show notes in front of them and all that stuff. It's like, man, like, I mean, we really do need a third person in here to run this live cast.
we kind of do for a live stream. Yeah. Although not very many questions today. I've seen a bunch of people join in and then drop out, but not a lot of questions today. So we kind of have to make it up as we go along. But,
so someone really asked who watches podcast on YouTube?
Yeah. Actually, one of the guys actually said, he's like, it was crazy. He's like, last night I was looking for something and I found out like 10 minutes into it before I realized what I was even doing, that I was watching 2 guys just podcast. They weren't even looking at the camera. They were just podcasting.
Yeah.
And just recording themselves doing an audio podcast.
Yeah.
But they happen to have the video. And I was like, well, funny thing you should mention that, because just last night I had my first client for podcast production services.
Yeah.
And, I'm engineering his voice. We're sitting in this room right here.
Yeah.
He brought in 2 different guests. We were in here for about 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And you know, and I'm going to edit his shows together and then put them together. But he also videotaped in 2 different ways. We used his iPhone the first time, and then the second one we used the other guy brought in an SLR camera.
Oh, thank God.
And and so we actually videoed just the audio podcast being produced, and he's going to put those up on a YouTube channel. And I was like, you know what? It's not very exciting to watch. Some people want to see the behind the scenes and what you're doing, but a lot of people just consume media, even if it's audio, on YouTube and Twitch and things like that. Like, you'll turn it on and just walk around your house and do stuff, right? Yeah. You don't need to be watching the screen. It's just another way to get the audio.
Well, I mean, my YouTube, my YouTube PC and Chromecast are like behind me, and then I'm just like playing on my computer or working on my computer, and I am facing it.
No,
so
you're not
it's like
even watching
so I don't really care.
Yeah.
Because some podcasts, it's just like, do I really want to, do I really want to go to Stitcher and blah blah blah. I mean, I can now that I've got my little Chromecast controller.
Right.
But still.
I think I'm going to create another live show that you're not on, and then I know that you'll be listening to it, though. And I'll put it on YouTube, and I'm going to occasionally put up a sign that says, Richie, hi, how's it going? You'll never see it. So.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Ooh. All right, well, we just got a few minutes left before we need to wrap up here and actually get ready for the social media thing happening in the background here.
Make dinner, or finish dinner.
I know, and I need to get some damn coffee. I am wiped out. But, so...
right.
Yeah. What's next time you see our live stream show up, please share it out. I'm starting to not really share it that much to the groups I usually share it to.
Oh, how come?
Well, because I don't want to inundate them with stuff. People get mad when you actually share things, which really always kind of weirded me out. Like, I used to share when I first got into podcasting. I used to share my podcast into these groups, and I wouldn't have any sort of text or anything with them. I would just share the podcast to them. Yeah. And like, for example, archaeology without the EO, archaeology, that group. Yeah. I don't know I can't even remember who runs it, but I was actually banned from that group.
Really?
So I was actually blocked from it, so I could never join it again unless somebody requests I come back in.
Wow.
And it's pretty huge. There's like 7,000 people in there. But I'm part of the other archaeology one that is spelled the right way. But no, that one, they just like, they didn't want any links in there, and they weren't really explicit about saying this, but they didn't want any links that didn't generate a conversation. They were like, don't just put a link in here, ask a question or say, what do you think about this, or something like that. And I was like, don't be douchebags. People just want information. Why can't I just link and drop something in there, listen to the episode, and that starts the conversation? Yeah. So it's not promoting my stuff. I don't get paid to podcast, so I'm not getting any money by dropping a thing in there. It's not like I'm dropping an ad for Ray-Ban sunglasses in there. Those people get banned immediately. But
they do?
Well, of course they do. And but I'm just trying to give you some content that's pertinent to your group. Yeah. So listen to it.
The thing is, how many people who look up archaeology topics actually really are real archaeologists and like are really interested in like relevant topics? How many of them just want like found a mummy was found here sort of articles? Like I forget the name of the group, but there's a Facebook group that I follow that's just like full of fluff crap.
There's quite a few of those.
Yeah, actually. It's just like it's just like there's no real archaeologists in it. It's just like just a bunch of people who just like reading articles about this was found here, that was found there, which is like all right, but it's just like as a real archaeologist, I don't really care about that shit.
Yeah, I know.
Unless it's like in a journal.
Yeah, no, you're totally right.
Because I mean, I used to subscribe to what was the AIA's magazine?
Archaeology.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that thing is useless if you're a real archaeologist.
Yeah, there's a little bit of fluff in there. Sometimes there's some good stuff in there, but it's mostly pictures.
See?
Yeah.
It's like useless.
Yeah.
I mean, why would I read that when I just like borrow a report?
Oh, right. Well, those magazines are really for people who aren't real archaeologists, like full-time archaeologists, because they can't get access to reports. So I understand that. They just need to be better.
But how much better would the world be if we could actually disseminate like real information to people?
I don't know.
I mean, that's the whole point of the Archaeology Podcast Network, and to a certain degree my channel, although it's more for tips and advice, but stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if anybody's actually listening to us at the last minute here, because it looks like the live stream has almost failed completely.
Really? Because according to this, it's
or at least the upload has.
Oh.
Because I don't even have the audio in here anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
According to this, it is dropping a quarter of the frames.
Well.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it seems to be getting worse and worse. So let's go ahead and cancel this while we can still make audible sounds that people can understand. And so you can get some dinner and get back here for your social media training.
Yeah.
And then we'll do it. So anyway, follow us. Go online. We're gonna have to change this graphic here because I actually decided not to put the podcast on iTunes and Stitcher. The only 3 places you can get it are here on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
If you want to watch the live stream again and get the comments in real time.
Yeah.
And Carl says he's here. And then
welcome, Carl.
I know. And then you can also get it
at Happy Archaeology Fun Time.
Right. That's on YouTube, which is on here.
Oh, and I finally bought the domain names.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So I just got to set up the website as soon as I
so we need to get all that stuff on this new thing too.
Yeah.
So, and then you can find it at arcpodnet.com/YCTA, and you'll find actually just links to Richie's YouTube videos. They're not links; they're actually embedded videos. So you can watch them right there if you wanted to.
Neat.
Yeah, which is cool. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but we want to give Richie views and hits on his page. You can't comment if you're looking just at the ArcPodNet page, but you can actually watch the video.
Yeah.
And if you want to subscribe to his page, which you should, because he's got a ton of stuff up over there, you can actually click through the video and over to the page. But if you just watch the video and you never left the APN page, that still counts as a view for Richie, which is great.
Oh my god, you know what else is cool? Even though it's completely off topic, I was playing around with the teleprompter function app on this.
Yeah, and I have one on the iPad that works really well.
The thing is, would I ever really get good at reading the teleprompter?
You get good if you have to.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yep, we got pretty good at it when we were doing PCS stuff. So.
Oh, really? But were you reading it, though?
The person on screen was reading it, and it was held right below the camera.
Ah.
Yeah, and it either moved automatically if the wind wasn't too loud.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have it plugged in through the audio because it was it heard your voice and heard your reading, so it scrolled automatically.
Neat.
But we also, the person holding it would pay attention and scroll it if they needed to. So.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's some really good teleprompter apps out there.
Yeah.
So.
And the crazy part is, obviously the audience can't see this, but there's actually a special adapter for that arm where I can put this on and then, put it right below the camera.
Nice.
I mean, it's not as cool as some of the adapters I've seen where it literally is a mirror. You can you're looking at the lens.
I've seen some DIY ones of those, but the cheapest ones you can purchase I've seen were still in the $200 to $300 range.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
eBay, $100.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Ha.
So
now we completely bored the audience with stuff they can't see.
I know, totally. So, all right, that's it. Thanks for joining us, and please comment and do whatever you got to do. So
yeah,
thanks a lot for joining in. Comment next time, and again, share this out. I said in the beginning, share this out so other people can have access to it. Really, what we'd like to do here is have people ask us questions about archaeology that maybe don't know anything. You professionals out there, feel free to ask questions as well, because we're professionals as well. But we really want to engage with the listening public. So
yeah. Oh man, hopefully when we get a Twitch channel and all those other channels going.
That's right. That's right. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Bye.
Yeah, see ya.